Robert Francis Kennedy Jr. recently appeared before the U.S. Senate Committee on Finance to be considered for the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. The known vaccine skeptic faced intense questioning from the committee pertaining to his past statements about the efficacy of vaccines and his suitability for the role. In his opening statement, Senator Ron Wyden said Kennedy should not be given the position.
After a careful review of Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s statements, actions, and views, materials that I have reviewed personally and closely, I reached the conclusion that he should not be entrusted with the health and well-being of the American people.
Kennedy has had a controversial past with vaccines. He has made close to $5 million in book deals, mostly promoting, quote, junk science. In the book about measles and the measles vaccines, Kennedy wrote that Americans have been lied to about the efficacy of the measles vaccine. Kennedy said numerous times during the hearing that he is pro-vaccine, shifting from his previous statements about vaccines being dangerous. He also shifted his stance on reproductive rights. During his presidential campaign, Kennedy said he was pro-choice. During the hearing, he said something notably different.
I agree with him that we cannot be a moral nation if we have 1.2 million abortions a year.
This left many senators wondering where he really stands on important issues.
If you want to move from advocacy to public responsibility, Americans are going to need to hear a clear and trustworthy recantation of what you have said on vaccinations.
When was it that you decided to sell out the values you've had your whole life in order to be given power by President Trump?
Amidst the intense questioning, Kennedy vowed to bring in a Native American into his central office. Kennedy also agreed to Senator Ben Ray Lujan's question when asked if he would, quote, finalize the congressionally mandated FDA guidance to increase clinical trial diversity.
Do everything I can to make sure there's Native Americans in clinical trials.
If Kennedy were to be confirmed to head HHS, he would be in charge of overseeing agencies like the Center for Disease Control and the Food and Drug Administration. In an NPR interview, Kennedy said Trump had given him 3 instructions: to remove corruption from health agencies, to return these bodies to evidence-based science and medicine, and to end the chronic disease epidemic. Kennedy will succeed Javier Becerra, nominated to the position by former President Joe Biden in 2021. He was the first Latino in history to hold this position. His approach as secretary would be, quote, radical transparency. He cited a gold standard.
The gold standard means real scientific research with replication of studies.
For ICT News, Daniel Herrera Carvajal.